fake crap. We're done with the lies. We're done with people trying to be something that they're not. And take advantage of people simply because of their greed and the evil that exists in this world. Stop trying to be something you're not and lean into what you are. And I promise you, as you do that, you will find a much better reception. People will embrace you. They will build around you. They will love you. And they will celebrate everything you're trying to accomplish. I am living proof of that. Okay? The shallow end versus the deep end. Do we have a microphone in the audience or no? Do we? No? Okay, I'm just going to pick on you then. Okay, yeah, let's get a microphone. So, here's the question. What do you guys think I mean by, when it comes to a brand, there's a shallow end and there's a deep end? Raise your hand if you think I know, you know what I mean. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'll just read it. Can I pull it off? Give it to me. Okay. So, what do I mean by the shallow end and the deep end?
I mean, I'd just say it's like the things you see is like the shallow end, like, oh, this is a brand, whatever. The deep end's like the reasons why, it's like it's the values, it's like the driving force behind, like, actually.
Absolutely. Taylor, give her a round of applause. That's exactly right. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. When it comes to a brand, you need both. Just like a pool needs a shallow end and a deep end, a brand needs a shallow end and a deep end. You need to have interest. You have to build interest. You have to create some kind of hype so that people are interested and hooked, if you will, right? But the problem is that a lot of brands only focus on the shallow end. They only focus on the flash. They only focus on the things that don't matter. And they lose sight of the things that actually do matter and make the difference. The things that actually impact people's lives. So how do you figure that out? I don't have a lot of time, and so usually I have a lot more time to speak. I can't go into it right now, deep dive, but I will just say this. One of the best ways to figure out your why, or the reason for why you do what you do, or the reason for your brand, okay, is think about the 5 most impactful experiences of your entire life. From the time you were 2 until now. Now the trick is you don't think too hard. Like when I said that just now, whatever 5 experiences came into your mind right away, those are your experiences. Whether they're good or bad. And then as you think of those, think about why they're so impactful. Why was that the first thing you thought of? It might be that you experienced rejection for the first time. And because of that, you now see the world through a lens of, I don't want to be rejected, and I want everyone around me to feel accepted. Right? It might be you had a bad experience with money when you were younger. And now it's all about, I want to make sure I'm financially safe, and everyone around me is financially safe. Right? Whatever it may be, that's the best way to figure out your reason. You with me? Say yes or yes. Yes? Okay. So that's yes or no, yes. Okay. Dig deep and help others too. Okay? Branding is everything. Personal branding is key. The real key, though, is turning a personal brand into a community brand. Making your reason theirs. How do you do that? How do you make your reason everyone else's? That is what creates a movement. That's when people adopt an identity. Okay? So in order to do that, you need to build a tribe. Everyone in here has heard that, right? Everyone in here has heard build a tribe. Okay, well, what does that mean? How do you do it? Before you ever try to sell a product, you must build a tribe. How many of you in here right now own a actual brand with a product? Raise your hand. Okay. Keep your hand up if the very first thing you started doing was selling a product. How did that go for you? Yeah. Why? Huh? They didn't know the why. Yeah. The most successful brands build brands on people. Brands are built on people, not products. Because once you build a tribe and a brand that means something, it doesn't freaking matter what you're selling. They're going to buy everything. Why? Because it's their identity. It's something that is so deeply rooted in their soul that they just want everything. They want to be a part of it. Okay? People-focused brands create movements. So how do you build the tribe? Build your tribe based on an idea that is bigger than you or anyone else. It has to be something that everyone knows. This is so much bigger than any one person that's a part of this. And if it's not, I promise you, it will not be as powerful as the ones that are. Think about brands right now. Think about a brand where the movement is so much, the idea is so much bigger than everyone involved. Right? That idea has to mean something. Okay? It has to make them feel something powerful. It's about the feeling they get. It's not about the product. It's not about the shallow. It's about the deep. It's about what makes those people feel something. Build it based on trust. Be genuine. Be authentic. No matter what the consequences might be, no matter what people might think or say, stand for something and show others that they can too. You guys need to understand something. Prior to this whole official Patriot year run, I was a pretty successful salesman and marketer. Like, I was pretty well known in the space, right? I had a decent following. I had built something. When I started speaking about this stuff, whether you agree with me or not, I don't care. I don't care. When I started speaking about what I knew was the most important thing to speak about, and what I knew in my soul was something that I was so passionate about, I literally thought I was burning everything to the ground. People are going to think I'm crazy. They're going to unfollow me. My monetization is gone. Like, all of it. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Because I would much rather stand for something and be something for others that make them feel like they can stand than live a fake life and pretend to be someone I'm not. And I promise you that what I found through this whole thing is there are far more people that believe what I believe and think the way that I think and understand the importance of what I was talking about than I ever thought possible. And that is exactly how it is for everyone. I am convinced of it. The more genuine and the more authentic that you can be with people, the more of a movement you will create, the more people that will gravitate towards you. They will want to be a part of it, whatever it is. Make it about them. Trust is built from honesty and sincerity, and those are the first things to go when you make it about you. So prior to this, a lot of you guys know, some of you may not, I was in door-to-door sales. I sold door-to-door for a decade. And one thing that I always taught when I trained reps, or when I was teaching others how to sell, was the importance of always being honest. Because that industry has a bad rap. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that aren't honest and that don't do things the right way. And what was so funny to me is every time I was teaching or training people how to be honest and how to sell honestly, it would always come down to, well, what happens if you're in this situation? Like, it just makes sense to, you're not lying, but like, you can kind of tweak it, right? And I would always ask them the same question, why are you doing that? Why is it that you do that? Well, because I got to get the sale, man. Okay. That's why you're not selling what I do. Because I'm not focused on the sale. I'm focused on putting that person in a better situation than they were in before I talked to them. And if I can't do that honestly, then they're not going to be in a better situation. And people feel that. They know that that's what I'm doing. Right? People know when you're being sincere. True trust is built when someone knows that you're doing it for them. As soon as someone feels like you're doing it for yourself, you're done. You're done. That's it. It might last a little while, but I promise you it will always come back to bite you. Always. So when you build something, when you build a tribe, do it with genuine, authentic honesty. Here's what I'm about. Here's what I know is important. This is why we all need to rally together and be a part of it. Seek to improve others' lives through education, inspiration, and service. Okay, this is something I talked about last night in the VIP dinner. Right? Serve. Serve, serve, serve. The more you give, the more you will receive. Anytime I ever feel like I get in a rut, or I'm feeling like I'm not doing enough, or being enough, or accomplishing enough, I look for opportunities to give. And I give as much as I can. Because I know that that is what actually gives me the biggest return. I know that that's what creates the life that I want so badly for myself and my family. The more that I give to others, and I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about talents, abilities, advice. Any one of my friends, my close friends, you can ask them right now, and I promise you, they will tell you how many times I have given them unsolicited advice. It probably annoys the hell out of them, honestly, most of the time. But there are those times that I know they appreciate it. And I do it because I want to improve others' lives so badly. That's what I want in life. That's what makes me feel fulfilled. The minute that I stop feeling that fulfillment from helping others and serving others, I know I'm not going the right way. That's how you get people to want to be around you, to want to be a part of what you're doing. You serve and you give. Live your brand identity every single day. Be the example. Show people that what you're building is what you are. It's what you're about. It's what you truly believe down to your deepest core. And show them that every single day. And I promise you, I'm going to show you in a little bit how much of an impact that can actually make. But you would be so surprised. People try to live these fake lives. And they try to be something they're not. And they try to put on this facade. And I'm telling you right now, if we can just get back to the fact that if we're authentic and we're genuine and we are ourselves, and we show every day that that's the case, guys, this world would be so different. Make the brand become the tribe's identity. When people feel like they are a part of something bigger than themselves, or anyone for that matter, they go all in. When we started Patriot here, I never planned on starting it, guys. Ever. I literally got to a point where we had done so much good as a group, okay? As this group of people. We had saved businesses from going under during lockdowns. We raised several $100,000s for businesses. Charities, all kinds of things. I knew that we had a community of people that believed in what I believed and were doing good. And so I said, let's figure out a way to show them, to give them so they can represent that. And I created the Patriot team. But I never in a million years thought, 2 years down the road, I'm going to be like building this apparel brand. Never. Never in a million years did I think that. But as soon as it started to happen, I knew that I had to make them feel like they were a part of it. And it wasn't just me. And that's where Patriot Friday came. Ask anyone that reps our brand what Friday is, and they will tell you every time. It's Patriot Friday. Ask anyone that buys the gear, what happens the minute it hits their doorstep? What happens, Dallas? Record it, take a picture, show it. I'm part of this community. I'm part of this tribe. This is what I am. How many of you in here right now are wearing Patriot gear? Raise your hand. That's pretty cool. They adopt the brand as their identity and embrace it as such when they feel like they are a part of it. I cannot stress this enough to you guys. If you are building a brand, make the people feel like they are a part of it. And they are not just on the outside. Collective identity equals movement. When a collective identity is developed and adopted, a movement is started.
A natural gravitation to be a part of something bigger than everyone involved is born and grows for years to come. Why? Because the world needs it. Okay? That why is not just why that's all the case. That why is also why is it that right now, every single one of you in this room should be building a brand and creating a movement. It's because the world needs it. The world is desperate right now for good. It's desperate for something to latch onto and to believe in and to follow and to create. It's desperate, guys. And every single one of you in here, okay, you've been blessed with talents and abilities that have put you in the seat you're in right now. Okay? Powerful messages and impact brands and world-changing movements can actually make a difference. Certain people are blessed with these gifts and talents and abilities to prepare them for the call to act. Every one of you in here, I guarantee you, if I were to ask you the question, how many times in your life have you felt like there's been a calling that you could either act on or not? How many of you have acted and how many of you have not? I would be willing to bet that 80, 90% of you, if not all of you, have received some kind of calling to create something big. Because you've been blessed with that ability. You've been blessed with a mind that thinks differently than everyone else. You create. You build. You want to change the world. At least you should. Be prepared and be ready to answer that call, because I promise you it's coming. It's your obligation to answer that call. It's your obligation. As somebody who is talented and blessed and has financial standing, you are obligated to answer the call to build something that people can be a part of, to create hope in this world. When? Now more than ever, it is time for more people to answer that call, build a tribe, create a meaningful brand, and start a movement that can positively impact and inspire millions for decades to come. And I promise you, no matter how many of you in here are saying, oh yeah, that's cool, but like, is that actually possible? Yes, it absolutely is. And the world is begging for it right now. They want it so badly. And I know that so many of you in here right now can feel that. And if it is you and you are feeling that right now, please answer the call. That's how we win. That's how we win. I want to share something with you guys. And it's actually so cool that this happened, and I don't believe in circumstance. I get a lot of messages all the time from people who talk about how this brand has impacted them and how it's made a change in their life. But I got one the other night that I want to share with you. Sorry, let me find it real quick. Hi Ian, I wasn't sure if you'd see my message to you on Shout, so I wanted to include it here. If you read one, don't feel compelled to read both. This is lengthy, so I apologize, but I feel compelled to tell you this story. I'm actually writing you to personally thank you for the movement you started, and the direction it has taken my life. When I started following you on Instagram in 2020, I learned so many things that my husband had been trying to teach me and warn me about for our entire relationship. Thanks to you, I was better able to understand where he had been coming from in many different areas that we had previously disagreed on. Our relationship has been strengthened because of the information you shared, so thank you. Another reason I have to send my sincerest gratitude is now my career. Since following you, my patriotism has been sincerely reignited. I've stood up for myself and my beliefs in the face of severe adversity. We used to live in San Diego. I proudly wear my Patriot gear and I try to be helpful brand ambassador. As of this week, I can say I am a proud Patriot in my career life as well. I am a marine biologist, science living, former marine mammal trainer. I have trained marine mammals since I was 19 years old, and I am proud of the understanding of animal behavior. I have a wonderful 11-year career in marine animal training, and unfortunately, with little room for growth at that point, I chose to pursue another passion, marine biology and research science. I volunteered at a government-run laboratory and was offered a full-time and high-paying job as a marine mammal scientist with them after a year of volunteering volunteering, I left my animal training career in April of 2019 and took a leap of faith into my next dream job, research science. Unfortunately, on March 13th of 2020, I was sent home with my laptop for a mandatory telework test day and never returned to the office. In July of 2021, we packed our entire life into the studio-sized pod and our Jeep and drove from the west coast of Florida. I landed a position in dolphin research, and I gave us the go-ahead to move somewhere that aligned with the lifestyle we wanted, the freedom to live our lives as we choose. We stayed in an Airbnb for 6 weeks, bought a house, and grew some roots in the Florida soil. Unfortunately, this science research position was not the right fit for me. The boss was less than stellar and was pretty much trying to fly under the radar until he retired, which meant the work we did was literally done for no purpose. It was a hard environment to work in, so I continued to look for other jobs. I posted in the neighborhood's Facebook page that I was looking for a new job and listed my skills. Someone got in touch with me in an organization called Dogs for Life. The founder and CEO got my information, contacted me, and said she was interested in my animal training skills. She trains service dogs and runs a nonprofit organization, one of only 4 in the state of Florida that is accredited to train service dogs for veterans. Focused on training of their service dogs. She'd offered me a job on the spot for better pay than I was getting at my dolphin research job, and I took it. I am now the lead trainer and dog park manager of Dogs for Life. This organization is absolutely incredible. I have passion again. I have excitement to go work again. I get to utilize my skills that I feel and others recognize. I am an expert in animal behavior. I get to use those skills to help veterans understand how to better communicate with their service dogs. In my opinion, your movement and organization has brought me here. You're so much more than a merchandise entrepreneur. You're motivating people to show their patriotism, to use their brains, to love their country, to unify and become one great American people. You've helped to motivate me to take a risk in my career. I formally turned my nose up, and for some reason I looked down on in the past. Science has broken my heart over the last 2 years, but I'm excited to take a break and be able to thank those who have sacrificed so much for my freedoms and my animal skills. Today was day 3 of work, and I can tell you that I am on day 3 of 3 of being touched by an interaction that I had with a veteran. They all have such different stories, and they all appreciate knowledge they gain from the trainers in order to communicate better with their service dogs. Thank you doesn't even cover it, Ian. If you're ever in Florida, it would be an honor to host you at Dogs for Life and show you the amazing work we do. I hope that we get an opportunity to speak sometime. Until then, this Patriot will continue to proudly wear her Patriot gear while spending 40 plus hours a week helping veterans and their dogs have a better relationship and understanding for one another. My heart is full. Guys, I promise you that the smallest thing can create the biggest difference. And every single one of you in here has a calling. And there is a movement being that is waiting for you to create. There are people that want to be a part of it. They're just waiting for you to act and to build that so that they can be a part of it. And you have the power, just like anyone else, to inspire the masses and create real change. I know that in my heart now. And this has changed my life as well. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.